Hello, the Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis from the Lakeport Branch, and today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of new books, rapid fire style. So I'm not going to have any long, kind of winded descriptions for these books. But if you want to order any of them, you could do so down below. We have our library catalog linked down there, so you can just copy and paste all of the titles and author names directly in there, and you can order them to the library of your choice. Just make sure that we have your updated information so that when your book comes in, we can notify you by email or by text or by phone call. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I'm going to have all of the genres of the books in timestamps in the description so that you can just go straight to the genre of your choice, or if there's a specific book that you were thinking of that you wanted to go back and remember the title of, it'll be listed down there with the timestamps. Let's jump into it. So our first genre is going to be historical fiction, and so the first book is going to be Daughters of Nantucket by Julie Gerstenblatt. And this is set against Nantucket's Great Fire of 1846, and it's a sweeping emotional novel that brings together three courageous women battling to save everything that they hold dear. And I happen to have read the very beginning of this, and I know that one of the women, at least, her husband is, I believe, on a whaling ship, and so they're going bankrupt, and her husband is away on the ship, and so she's trying to figure out how to, just have her family survive. If that sounds like a book that you would like to check out, you can do so for free down below. It's available on print and also on e-audiobook. Next, we have the thriller genre, and the thriller we're talking about today is The Night Flowers by Sara Herchenroether, and this is set in 1983, deep in New Mexico's Gila National Forest, where the bodies of a young woman and two children have been found. This haunting debut thriller is written with a pulse-pounding precision and a deep understanding of the psychology of violence, and I know that the case is like a cold case, so if you're a cold case fan, this novel might be for you. Next, we have the mystery genre, and there's several subgenres of mystery. I think we have the most mysteries, and then we have a bunch of romances as well. So for mysteries, our first mystery subgenre is going to be paranormal mystery, and the first book is going to be A Cruel Light by Cyndi MacMillan. Hidden away and decaying for decades, a cryptic mural holds deadly clues in this intoxicating mix of art, murder, and buried secrets. Perfect for fans of Simone St. James. A Cruel Light is also available on ebook and e-audiobook. Next, we have historical mystery subgenres, and there's a bunch of these. The first one is going to be Unnatural Ends by Christopher Huang. And this one is following the murder of Sir Lawrence Linwood, and so his three adopted children return home to find that he has left in his last will and testament contains a strange proviso that his estate shall go to the heir who solves his murder, which is weird because that would suggest, he knows who's gonna murder him. Sounds interesting. If it sounds interesting to you, you can order it for free down below. Next, we have Murder in Postscript by Mary Winters. So when one of her readers asked for advice following a suspected murder, Victorian Countess Amelia Amesbury, who secretly pens the popular Lady Agony column, has no choice, of course, but to investigate in this first book of a series. So if you're looking for a new series, a new historical mystery series, this could be the one. Next, we have Mastering the Art of French Murder by Colleen Cambridge. And this is a cozy historical mystery set in France and starring Julia Child's fictional best friend. And it contains a fresh perspective on the iconic chef's years in post-World War II Paris, with a delicious mystery and a unique culinary twist. Perfect for fans of Jacqueline Winspear and Mary Benedict. And it's also available on e-audiobook and ebook. Next, we have the genre of middle grade, and our first book is Doomsday, Dani by Carissa Turpin. So when Y2K doesn't result in the end of the world as Dani expected, she's going to have to instead come to terms with her new reality, which includes the divorce of her parents, a blossoming awkward friendship, and repeated humiliation at the hands of a school bully. If Doomsday Dani sounds like a book you would like to read, we have it on ebook. Next, we have Once There Was by Kiyash Monsef, which is available on ebook and e-audiobook. And this is following 15-year-old Iranian-American Marjan, who discovers that her murdered father was secretly a veterinarian to magical creatures, and she realizes she's going to have to take up his mantle despite all of the dangers that job entails. Next, we have Young Adult, and the young adult book we have here is The Memory Eater by Rebecca Mahoney, and it's about a teenage girl who must save her town from a memory-devouring monster in this piercing exploration of grief, trauma, and memory from the author of The Valley and the Flood. It's also available on ebook and e-audiobook. Next, we have the romance genre. So we have several romantic subgenres here. So our first subgenre is fantasy romance, and the title is Bitter Medicine by Mia Tsai. As a descendant of the Chinese god of medicine, Elle Zhang was destined to be a doctor. Instead, she is underemployed as a mediocre medical calligrapher at the Fairy Temp Agency. When Elle saves the life of her client and crush, a half-elf named Luke, their chemistry blooms. But to win freedom from duty, they must make unexpected sacrifices. Next, we have the disability romance subgenre. We have Where You See Yourself by Claire Forrest, which is an Own Voices coming-of-age romance novel about a girl who is a wheelchair user with cerebral palsy, going off to college and discovering that life is about more than what you can plan for. It's also available on ebook and e-audiobook. Next, we have romantic comedy, and the book we have is Gigi Listening by Chantel Guertin. It's for Anglophiles and for fans of Sophie Kinsella and Christina Lauren, and it's about a woman who takes an impulsive trip to England to meet the man behind the audiobook narrator she's fallen for. That sounds really cute. So it's available in print and also on ebook. And finally, we have the Gothic genre. So the Gothic novel we have today is The Last Heir to Blackwood Library by Hester Fox. In post-World War I England, a young woman inherits a mysterious Blackwell Abbey. Rumors swirl in the village about the abbey's previous owners, about ghosts and curses, and an enigmatic manuscript at the center of it all. And as the event grows more sinister, it will be up to Ivy to uncover the library's mysteries in order to reclaim her own story before it vanishes forever. And The Last Heir to Blackwood is also available on ebook, e-audiobook, and large type. So if any of those books sounded like your next read, definitely check them out down below. They'll be listed with their titles and author names, like I said, and the summer reading program is here, so it's time to enjoy some new releases. All right, take care, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.